The ground vibrations and air blasts produced by blasting are often felt by residents surrounding the mines. These can be harmful to the health of people living in mining communities, the environment and properties. For more on this, we welcome Johan Lorenzen, who's an associate at Richard Spoor Attorneys. A very warm welcome to you. Thank you so very much for joining us on SABC News.
Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Now, mining communities, Johan, and workers are most directly affected by most negative impacts of mining. We know, of course, the economic benefits of mining, but when it comes to weighing up the two, it does seem that human life would be a little bit more important. What does the law say in this regard?
Right. So this is the 2-year anniversary of the Maledu judgment of the Constitutional Court, which held that mining may not commence on community land until the community either consents or a court determines the compensation that's payable. Now, that's become very clear that communities have a right to say no before mining commences and right to fair compensation. But unfortunately, the government, the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy, is not enforcing that, and companies are more than happy to start mining without it, to start making profits and not have to pay fair compensation.
Now, when it comes to the issue of, and this I suppose is where you come in then, Johan, what's been happening now is that we're seeing some communities actually going ahead and instituting class action lawsuits. I'm just trying to give you an idea of something that's happening at the moment, where there is a class action lawsuit that's been filed against Anglo-American South Africa Limited in terms of children that were indeed harmed by the effects of mining as a whole. Is this something that we can expect a lot of going forward? This is obviously an unrelated case to the one that we're currently discussing at the moment, but it does seem that class action suits are something that are going to become quite the norm if we look at some of the communities that really have been quite harmed by mining.
Absolutely. Investors should be on notice that the era of impunity that has been enabled by Minister Mantashe and others is coming to an end. And if the state is going to keep ignoring communities and their demands for fair compensation, they will successfully be able to claim that compensation through the courts.
What should the companies, in terms of anticipation, be doing then to stop that from happening? Let's say they're now going to be mining in a specific area. What should they, in the beginning, be actually doing, apart from getting the permission that you speak of? I know some companies even will perhaps give jobs to some of the community members, but in anticipation of anything going wrong, what should the companies be doing as a precursor to anything going wrong?
Right. To start with, when you're approaching a new mineral commodity, the starting point has to be compliance with what is now the South African standard and the international law standard, which is free, prior, and importantly, informed consent of setting out the details of this is what the impacts will be over a 20-year period. And here we structure an agreement with the directly affected community to ensure that over a lifetime, we know what the costs are, we know what benefits will be provided to them, and then you can assess what will the profits be at the end of this, and then you're able to make an informed decision, both for the community on whether to accept the mining or not, but also from the company to say, this is the cost of what informed community consent is. And before we jump into this project, we know what we're getting in for, and that then makes informed decisions, but also means that down the road you're not going to be faced with devastating lawsuits.
Yeah. All right, Johan, thank you very much for giving us your time here on SABC News. We certainly do appreciate your input this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
That's Johan Lorenzen, an associate at Richard Spoor Attorneys, speaking to us there. Well, the Communication Workers Union has accused the SABC management of being arrogant towards unions, saying they are determined to carry out retrenchments. The SABC, in its June Section 189 notice, said that as many as 600 full-time workers could be retrenched. The unions have accused the SABC of unreasonably refusing unions an extension to the labour consultation process. CWU General Secretary Aubrey Chabalala says that their members are planning to embark on industrial action.
We have